The new Disney live-action Snow White, starring Rachel Zegler, has sparked both controversy and excitement. Today on Collider, we tell you everything about the behind-the-scenes. Disney's decision to reimagine the seven dwarfs in the upcoming live-action Snow White remake has caused a lot of buzz. It's a move that's left many scratching their heads, especially when you consider the reasoning behind it. The studio announced that they wanted to avoid reinforcing stereotypes associated with dwarfs, but in trying to be more progressive, Disney may have missed the mark. Rather than casting dwarf actors, they chose to replace the iconic characters with CGI versions, sparking a whole lot of debate. This all started when actor Peter Dinklage, who is himself a dwarf, voiced his frustrations about the portrayal of the dwarfs. He pointed out that while Disney has made strides in terms of diversity, like casting a Latina actress as Snow White, it was still going ahead with a story that leaned into outdated stereotypes. In a way, he felt that it was a step backward. He brought this up in an interview on Mark Maron's podcast, where he questioned why Disney would reinforce these stereotypes by showing dwarfs living in a cave together, especially when society has come so far in many areas of representation. His comments were clearly meant to challenge Disney to think more critically about how they approach characters with dwarfism in a modern context. It didn't take long for Disney to respond, and in 2022, the studio revealed that instead of casting dwarf actors, the dwarfs would be replaced by magical creatures, as a way of sidestepping the issue altogether. But not everyone was on board with that idea either. Tara Jo Leigh, a reality TV star with dwarfism, voiced her disagreement, saying that this decision ignored the voices of people actually living with dwarfism. Her point was that by eliminating roles for dwarf actors, Disney was taking away a rare opportunity for the community to find work in an industry that often overlooks them. While it's easy to understand the desire to avoid reinforcing negative stereotypes, there's something to be said about the missed opportunity here. Hollywood already has very few roles for people with dwarfism, and when a role like this comes up, one where the characters are already part of a magical, fantastical world, this should have been a chance to cast actors who don't get many opportunities. And yet, Disney chose to use CGI to sidestep the issue entirely, which in a way doesn't seem as progressive as they might have hoped. From a VFX perspective, the choice to go digital with the dwarfs is not as simple as it sounds. The trailer for the film already showed us what these CGI dwarfs might look like, and let's just say the results have been divisive. A group of VFX artists from the Corridor crew recently took to YouTube to analyze the Snow White trailer, specifically the CGI dwarfs. Their reaction was mixed.
We are looking at Snow White, and the seven...
Some praised the animation for being painterly and loyal to the look of the classic cartoon dwarfs, but others found the result a little unsettling. One artist mentioned that the CGI was teetering on the edge of the uncanny valley, that eerie feeling you get when a character looks almost human, but not quite. The proportions of the dwarfs in particular seemed exaggerated, making them seem more cartoonish than lifelike.
It's a human.
What did you think I was?
Nothing. Ghost.
But even more than the design itself, there's the technical side of mixing CGI with live action. If everything in the film were animated, it would be easier to create the visuals as a cohesive, fully digital world. But because Snow White features real-life actors interacting with CGI, there are a lot of technical hurdles that come into play. The VFX artists noted that the integration of these digital dwarfs with the live-action characters will be a complicated process, as the CGI dwarfs need to be carefully placed in the real-world setting and interact with real actors in a believable way. It's all about getting the lighting, the shadows, the movement, and the camera angles right, so the dwarfs feel like they belong in the same world as Snow White and the other characters. Some of the Corridor crew artists pointed out that a fully CGI movie would have allowed for more flexibility and better control over the visuals. If everything were animated, they wouldn't have to worry about fitting digital characters into real-world physics and constraints. But the way Disney is approaching this, with real actors and CGI elements, means they're working within the limits of live-action filming, which can make everything look just a little off if it's not done perfectly. While the visual effects may be impressive, there's a lingering sense that the results could still feel unnatural to some viewers. This is where the controversy gets really interesting. While some fans of the classic film may appreciate the effort to stay true to the original design of the dwarfs, the use of CGI doesn't solve the larger problem that Peter Dinklage pointed out. By turning the dwarfs into magical creatures, Disney has removed the opportunity for dwarf actors to be part of the film. It's almost as if, in trying to be more progressive, Disney missed an important part of the conversation: the need for greater representation and job opportunities for actors with dwarfism. At the end of the day, it's clear that Disney's decision to CGI the dwarfs was meant to modernize the story and address concerns about stereotyping, but it has left behind a lot of questions. It's a classic case of trying to do the right thing and inadvertently causing more harm than good. The visual effects might be impressive, but they don't erase the fact that real opportunities for people with dwarfism have been taken away. The debate around this decision will will likely continue as the film's release approaches, and it's a conversation that brings up important questions about representation in Hollywood and how much companies like Disney are really doing to make a difference. When Disney decided to give Snow White the live-action treatment, they knew they had to do something special with the music to make it stand out. The original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is a classic, with unforgettable songs like Someday My Prince Will Come and Hi-Ho. Those tunes are iconic, and for the new version of the film, Disney wanted to make sure the music kept that same sense of magic, but also offered something new for modern audiences. That's where EGOT-winning songwriting duo Benj Pasek and Justin Paul come in. Pasek and Paul, known for their work on La La Land and The Greatest Showman, have made a name for themselves creating emotional, catchy tunes that bring movies to life. Their involvement in Snow White marks a big shift in how Disney is approaching its live-action remakes. Instead of relying solely on the familiar songs from the animated movie, they've written new tracks that add emotional depth to the story while still feeling true to the original spirit of the film. One of the first songs they created for the film is Good Things Grow, which plays during the opening scene. Director Mark Webb, known for his work on The Amazing Spider-Man and 500 Days of Summer, wanted the opening number to set a joyful, uplifting tone for the movie. According to Webb, Good Things Grow is meant to be a declaration of happiness and joy, and it's an energetic introduction to the world of Snow White. It's clear from the way the song is composed that it's all about optimism and possibility, setting the stage for Snow White's journey in a way that feels fresh, exciting, and full of life. Then there's the villain song All Is Fair, which gives the evil queen, played by Gal Gadot, a much-needed moment in the spotlight. Villain songs are always fun to write, as Pasek and Paul explain, because they allow the writers to explore darker emotions that aren't often given a voice in traditional storytelling. All Is Fair delves into the queen's jealousy and obsession with beauty, portraying her as more than just a one-dimensional antagonist. The song is dramatic and intense, with music that builds in tension as the queen expresses her envy and desire to remain the fairest in the land. It's a moment that gives depth to the queen's character, making her motivations clear and relatable to the audience. But the real emotional highlight of the soundtrack is Waiting on a Wish, a song performed by Snow White herself. This song is a heartfelt, vulnerable expression of Snow White's dreams and desires. In the behind-the-scenes featurette, we see Rachel Zegler, who plays Snow White, performing the song with Pasek and Paul accompanying her on piano. It's a simple, stripped-back moment that allows the emotional weight of the song to shine through. Snow White's longing for a better life is something we can all relate to, and Waiting on a Wish captures that feeling beautifully.
We wanted to pay homage to the iconic things that we associate Snow White with.
There's also Princess Problems, a new duet that Snow White shares with another character in the film. This song is a bit lighter and playful, showing Snow White's interactions with the people around her. It helps break up some of the heavier moments and adds a sense of fun and levity to the story. While the choice to replace the dwarfs with CGI has stirred up some debate, the film's emotional depth and modern twist on the story will probably leave a lasting impression on the audience. Thanks for watching Collider. See you next time.